Good evening, everybody. Coming live from the Robinson household. I'm David Robinson, co-host tonight, Michael Robinson.
How you guys doing?
We're going to recap Week 5. Look forward to Week 6 here at the Clubhouse Fantasy Football Weekly.
Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Mike, one thing I want to start with, Mike, seems like you've had a lot more spirit in your game a little bit last few weeks, a little more pep in your step, talking a little bit more smack at the workplace.
I haven't known football this good since probably 2005, to be honest. I'm paying attention to the big-time players. I'm paying attention, just everything you guys have been saying on Weekly, and I'm engaged.
Starting to get getting your feet underneath you.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. We'll start off with the snoozer matchup of the week. Myself, Shock and Awe, up against Tim's Lone Rangers. We combined to put up a mighty score of 88-82. I can't candy coat this, guys. I was really hoping when we went into Monday Night Football, I still had Michael Thomas playing. I still had Adrian Peterson playing. I go, well, at least if these guys go off, I'll still put up 105, 110 points, and I can always go back to my tried and true, well, at least you got to make your opponent beat you, and Tim just didn't beat me. Well, pretty much in this instance, we both deserve to lose. I guess I just deserve to lose less. And fortunately,
I believe you lose to every other team in the league this week as the champ.
Absolutely, I do.
Top dog.
Absolutely.
You would still lose here. But, hey, you played your matchup. You won.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Ask me if I feel bad about being 5-0.
Hey, Dave, do you feel bad about being 5-0?
Not at all. You don't have to apologize for a win.
Yeah. Do you think you go to Bill Belichick and go, hey, Belichick, do you feel bad about winning? And he's going to be like,
absolutely not. No, next week it's not. Real quick, there's not a ton of points put up. I do play an LA Ram, and actually ends up being my leading scorer with 18 points. One thing I do want to touch about, on a week in and week out basis, you're going to run into some variance. You're going to run into some bad luck. I run into bad luck at the kicker position.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And everybody who watched this will remember because it was the Detroit game. He's got Mason Crosby.
Just banging him off the uprights left and right. It was unreal. Something like I've never seen before in a football game. And I've seen it happen to like the rookie kicker.
Right, we're talking about Mason Evan Crosby,
an all-pro kicker. Yeah. Just money in the bank kicker, and this guy misses 4 field goals and an extra point. Just those points alone will at least make my score look respectable.
I believe it's 3-1, but
no, it's 4-1.
Okay,
4-1. One of them was a 56-yarder.
All right, so
whatever. Yeah, I wish I could say I missed a bunch of equity on my bench, but I really didn't. It was just going to be a bad week no matter what. Looking over at Tim's team, we're going to see a lot of the same. Quincy Anunua doesn't even touch the ball. Don't know why you'd ever have somebody like that in your roster. Certainly there's somebody out there in waiver land better than that.
Yeah,
he starts Royce Freeman, who's certainly the number 2 back.
Yes.
Philip Lindsay, number 1 back. Royce Freeman, number 2 back. Tries to, catch fire, magic in a bottle there. There's just not much going on. The bench is equally as bad, and I'm going to continue to beat up on Tim because he just doesn't play well. And there's not much else I can say about that. Mike,
I have to piggyback on what Dave said there, Tim. And I see you on your phone. You're engaged. You're not watching Weekly.
Yeah.
We're out here. We're giving you advice, and I think it'd be beneficial for you. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And frankly, I don't think I'm going to have anything better to say about Tim's team next week for the future. Maybe I'll have something better to say about my team when we do the projections.
Yeah.
Moving on. We're going to take a look at ridiculousness. Anthony Johnson versus the Ganoush. Big Baba Ganoush.
Big Baba Ganoush. God, I got to love that name.
Matt's team. 2 teams that do have logos.
Oh, yeah. Let's touch upon that, David. Because it took me a couple weeks. But guess what? It's not hard. You download a picture. You put it up there. Represent your team. See, I represented my team. People are like, oh, what's Sweden House even mean? Then you see Sweden House Buffet, and it's because I'm eating on you, homies. I'm saying,
I have mine up there for 2 different reasons.
I love yours.
Number 1, I am a fan of Ronald Reagan. The term shock and awe was coined by former President George W. Bush when that was the campaign we were going to run on the Iraqis out in the desert there.
Yeah.
And then also, if you have somebody of a different political persuasion out there that sees that logo, they might get a little bit angry and think that they got to do something silly to try and beat you that week.
That's true. Get them out of their element, thinking irrationally even.
Right. So anyway, Ridiculousness takes this one down, 122-93. He performs over projection, definitely makes somebody go out and beat him, and Matt's team just doesn't get it done.
Matt's had some bad luck when it comes to getting it done.
Oh, bad luck, terrible luck.
Underperforming.
I mean,
really not a bad lineup.
I talked ad nauseum over the last few weeks about playing LA Rams.
Oh, that's
plays right. Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks gets hurt within the first 4 minutes of that game. I mean, just
total bummer for the man.
A hit where you know he's concussed. He's out. It was he gone.
He gone.
You know, I've got to imagine he picks up Aaron Jones, you know, backup running back for the Packers, who's going against a weak Detroit rush defense. And the Packers just fall behind in that game. Immediately, they're down 24-0 at halftime. They abandon the run game, and Jones just doesn't get much love, so there's a little bit of bad luck there.
Yeah.
Jordan Reed underperforms. That's a tight end. He gets back. That everybody would project Jordan Reed to be a top 5 tight end, but he hasn't made much noise at all this season. And then there's the one questionable decision that I had. He starts Chris Thompson at the flex over Demaryius Thomas.
That's right.
He cost himself 10 points there as a coaching decision.
I was looking over that yesterday.
We said it here on Weekly last week. Demaryius Thomas is the play there. He goes against fantasy weekly. Maybe he doesn't watch. Maybe he doesn't have any friends that know what we're talking about. But Demaryius was the play there.
Hey, we're your friends, and we're talking about it every week. And we're
here.
Dave's offering up knowledge that he's almost turned me into a good player by now. Or has.
I think he's fallen down to 1-4. He's definitely at the bottom end of this league.
Yeah, I mean, he's turned it around now.
But I think this is a team that can do it. Again,
he definitely knows his stuff.
Again,
we're talking about contract years and stuff like that.
Again, we're 6 teams make the playoffs. That's 60% of the league. I really only got to get to 6 and 7 or 5 and 8. So 1-4 is not the nail in the coffin, so to speak, yet. Because this is a team that I see. I have Dalvin Cook on the bench because he's out. That's somebody that could come back and make noise. We've got to make correct decisions, though. The Demaryius Thomas thing bothers me. But, Emmanuel Sanders on the bench, there's some more depth there, so the bye weeks aren't going to kill him. Quickly over to Anthony's team. He's got a great running back combination there with James Conner and Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, probably my favorite running back in the league right now. He's going to start seeing the end zone, too, because he's getting all this yardage. He might have scored last week, but I know a couple weeks ago it was 185 yards, no touchdowns. He's going to start kissing the end zone a lot more. I see that his stock is on the rise.
I agree.
Calvin Ridley, he kind of gets shut down, but all of Atlanta does last week. So nothing to worry about there. Tyreek Hill, a little bit underperformance. But he makes a good pickup during the week.
What do you do?
He picks up Cincinnati's defense.
Well, that's always a good move when you're playing Miami.
Well, Cincinnati's it's a matchup thing. It wasn't necessarily something where it's a glaring thing like we got to play against the Buffalo Bills, but it's Cincinnati's at home. Miami's kind of overrated. We've seen them kind of, fluke into a couple wins.
Yeah, okay.
And, excuse me, he plays a team at home that has a possibility to put up a big number on defense. And really, that's all you can hope for. Because other than that, you're going to get, 6, 7 points out of your defense.
Right, tops. So when I see 8, I'm like...
So in that game, Miami jumps out to a big lead. Cincinnati gives them 2 defensive touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, see, this is amazing.
Storms back to win, puts a big 22 points for him. And really, that's what wins in the game this week. 122 is
that's a solid number.
It's a solid number, and you got to go beat that number. And Matt's just unable to do it with injuries and bye week troubles that he's had. Let's move on to the matchup of the week, really. With my Tate, Alex's team, and Jamie's team, the Breeze Knees.
And I look at who's making moves out there and who's not, because you can look at it.
Yep.
And Jamie's a player. She's not just going to go down without a fight. Anyways, let's go.
Well, we've talked about it before on Weekly. Jamie's definitely a fantasy pro. She knows what she's doing. She might have been a little distracted the last couple of weeks.
That's true. She was off, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, doing whatever she's doing. But
traveling the world.
Definitely out in Europe. That's kind of cool.
Traveling the world. I don't know. Maybe the internet isn't as good out there. She's able to keep up on things. There was a couple things she probably could have done. And she's probably just on autopilot.
Just autopilot. Made sure I had somebody in the lineup.
She still had Garoppolo on her bench last week, and he's done for the season.
Oh yeah. There's just no need to have.
She takes a little bit of a hit and Lick My Take gets the win, 126-123. Closest matchup of the week. Takes a little bit of a hit from Tevin Coleman, only putting up 4-4, but that's because Devontae Freeman comes back last week. Total split load there. And on top of it all, Atlanta falls behind in that game.
You got to pay attention to that. See what he just said? These are the things that us as maybe not like gurus like this guy are not getting. But when you're splitting your touches,
Yeah, I mean,
you're splitting your touches.
Tevin Coleman went on a run there for 2-3 weeks where he's a consistent double-digit player because he's the number one back and number two is a distant second. Now when you got Coleman and you got Devontae, Devontae's number one and Tevin's a close number two.
Right.
So they're going to split carries. So she falls short there. She could have played, Alex Collins on her bench, and would have made it really, really close. She could have played James White. James White was a play last week.
Wow, but how are you going to know that?
James White's a top 10 running back in the league this year.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't run the ball. He's running back only by position.
Yeah.
James White had
0
rushing yards last week. Everything was
but caught 10 passes.
James White is somebody that, until proven otherwise, I'm going to play him on a week in and week out basis. I think the points play out. You guys can look this up.
Flex,
Look this up. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe James White is a top 10 running back fantasy-wise this year right now, as we speak right here.
Carlos Hyde makes no sense there, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think Coleman was the sit there because of the split share. I mean, she gets a big performance.
Oh yeah, that's looking deep. That's right.
The big performance though was out of Kenyon Drake. Out of nowhere, Drake goes for 2 straight weeks where he scores less, like 2 fantasy points.
Like nothing.
I mean, you almost want to drop him, but you're like, man, I wasted a 3rd-round draft pick on this guy. I don't want to drop him just yet.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of smoke and mirrors there. He got a lot of receiving yards, 7 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. I think he ran the ball 11 times for 40 yards. We still got Frank Gore in there messing things up where he can't have all the load. Drake is definitely... if you watch a lot of the other fantasy podcasts with the amateurs, like the Matt Berrys and guys like that, they're down on Drake. They think that he was overrated going into the season, that Frank Gore is there and he's there to stay. I look at Frank Gore and say,
Frank Gore, I was just talking about 2005.
It could be like, it was his rookie year.
Yeah.
Frank Gore could be like my grandpa almost, it seems like. I think that they're going to have to focus on Drake because either Gore's going to get hurt or number 2, it's going to start going down the toilet. And they're going to say, hey, what do we actually have with this kid? So I think Drake is a play for her in the future. And, we talked about it earlier, Mike, in private, but do they have the 2 best tight ends in the league here in this matchup? With Ertz?
Yeah, I think we're thinking they do.
Ertz for Alex and
Kelsey for.
I think Kelsey's a clear number 1 in the league right now.
Okay. Even when Olsen's back?
Even when Olsen's he can't stay on the field.
He just gets hurt.
Gronkowski's lost a step.
He's definitely not the same.
And then Kelsey on that.
Even with that bionic arm.
Kelsey on that bionic Kansas City offense. I mean, you just know that there's points to be had out there. And I mean, you've got to love that out of the tight end position, especially with how shallow that's been this season. And we're talking maybe...
Yeah, everybody. I mean, if you're getting 10 points out of your tight end, you're doing good.
Yeah, you're stealing. 4 or 5 tight ends in the entire league are reliable plays on a week in and week out basis right now, and that's it. And these guys have 2 of them, so good on you guys. Let's go look at Alex's team here real quick. I think I've talked a little bit about...
we're going to talk about solid squads that we're going to have to watch out in the future.
Absolutely.
We're talking about Alex.
Well, Alex is a player. Alex is definitely always searching for the next angle. Somebody he can pick up, somebody he can speculate on.
He just showed his knowledge at the fantasy draft that he kind of knows what he's talking about. This is not his first league.
Absolutely. Not his first rodeo. I mean, folks, just when you have time, look at his bench. His bench is just littered with double-digit players.
Yeah.
And then,
littered with double-digit players. That's a way to put it right there.
He goes with Jared Goff, which was something that I would have done. Underperforms for him a little bit. But with the rest of the squad, it didn't matter. You have Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is probably the number 1 fantasy running back right now.
He's got to be.
Yeah, he's got to be. Ertz goes off for a big number. But here's somebody like Tyler Boyd for the Bengals. This is not somebody you drafted. This is somebody picks up and now he starts them. That's just that's things you do. And then, of course, do I want to let the cat out of the bag?
I think we have to. That's what the whole point of the show is.
That's what I do here.
Yeah.
Alex goes out and picks up Tennessee's defense last week.
Who's Tennessee play again?
Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo.
Now, it doesn't pay off in spades here, folks. I'm not saying that there was better defenses out on the waiver wire last week, if you're Monday morning quarterback, but he picks up the best projected defense because he goes against Buffalo. He plays Tennessee, and I'm sure he's going to drop Tennessee after this week and pick up somebody else.
Yeah, there's always going to be a defense. There's always going to be a kicker.
Yeah, but he knew this was the one to play. He uses his waiver wire priority to get it because I'm sure I tried to get him. I'm sure you tried to get him.
I always try to get whoever's in Buffalo's playing.
Yeah, so I mean that's just word of advice. If you can afford to, if you feel confident with the lineup you're starting and the one place you know you can,
you beat me the next week just because you had you were ahead on the line, whatever it's called,
the waiver wire.
Yeah, you're ahead.
Yeah. No, we'll go into projections, but Alex gets a 3-point win. Some coaching decisions made on Jamie's part that cost you the game. And that's part of it too. That's part of the fun too. You know, I mean, if I
make a coaching decision cost me against you,
if I make a coaching decision that costs me a game, I want to get myself in the face.
One of those.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to the next matchup.
All right.
Looks like we're gonna take a look at
auto draft.
Yeah, let's look at auto draft. This is gonna be a quick one because this is just a blowout, and we don't really like Steve's team.
Yeah, Steve. I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah,
but your team sucks.
It's terrible. And Steve's just like wheeling and dealing all over the place, and it just blows up in his face.
He tries.
I traded him Lamar Miller.
That's right.
A couple weeks ago, right?
I remember that.
For Kyle Rudolph, which is a perfectly legitimate trade. And Lamar Miller is questionable throughout the week, but everybody says, "Oh, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play." Sure enough, Sunday morning shows up, 12 o'clock. There's old number 26, pads on, stretching on the field,
doing the whole nine.
Doesn't play. Sits on the sidelines in his pads for 60 minutes. And that's fantasy frustration beyond belief.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have mattered, but that's frustrating. And it could, we say it doesn't matter, but hey, you know what? If he turned it around, this is a 1-4 team. He gets himself to 5-8. The tiebreaker could be points to get it into the playoffs.
Right.
So I mean, the 15, 20 points that Lamar Miller would have given him could make the difference in the league. I mean, that's tough luck. We always talk about Steven's dynamic, Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. They both perform, but with the way that Steven's team is constructed,
they just barely overperform.
He needs them to
3 extra points.
He needs 55, 60 points out of those two guys every week.
I think, about 54 points is how you did.
Eric Ebron is an enigma. I don't know what's going on with him.
Apparently, Ebron was only bad when he played for the Lions. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean.
Well, it's philosophy. I think Indianapolis is putting him in a lot of situations for him to succeed. He's
a big boy.
And he still drops passes. I still see him drop passes, but you know what? They still get him in. They don't line him up as a blocking tight end ever. Whenever he's in there, he's a receiver. He runs routes on like 95% of his snaps. He rarely sits in and run blocks. So this is a tight end only by name. He is a big wide receiver.
Very big wide receiver.
He's a huge target. He's come down with some big red zone grabs this year. You know what? I think it's going to continue.
All right. I think you're right.
Eric
Ebron was in the discussion of best tight ends too. When we were talking about it.
But we can talk about all we want. Steve makes a huge mistake here. I got Robert Woods sitting on the bench. Who does Robert Woods play for, Mike?
Yeah, I do believe he plays for the Los Angeles Rams.
What do we do with skill position players that play for the Rams?
We put them in the lineup.
Yes. I don't know.
We're 6 weeks into this now, and we're only 5 weeks in, but
yeah, but the Rams are 5-0.
I mean, and they just arguably the best team in the league.
Yeah, and they just score. What's the least amount of points they scored in a week? 33.
Yeah,
they score points.
They're dynamic offense.
They're unstoppable.
Yeah, we're like the what was that team they had? The Rams had back in the day.
They're the greatest show on turf right now.
Greatest show on real grass.
And if you haven't watched the Rams game, it's worth just looking it up on NFL.com and watching just.
Maybe the highlights.
Yeah,
that's all you have time
watch
for.
A Rams game, man. It's so much fun to watch because they can do everything. They can run it, they can pass it. They run screenplays. They have the best coach in the league.
So I did
certainly the best young coach in the league, in Sean McVay. This guy's got. Have you seen any stuff with Sean McVay?
No, I don't know much about it.
Okay, so he gets
besides what you've told.
They'll do interviews with him, and for fun, the interviewer will be like, "All right," because he used to be coordinator in the league too, right? Right. 2011, San Diego versus Washington, 3rd and 10. Third quarter.
No way.
4:54 to go. And he'll be like, "Oh yeah, we run double ZY banana and it's a touchdown to Deshaun Jackson."
So his focus is on football.
Yeah,
fully.
Well, he's dating a porn star too, but
he's dating a porn star too.
No, or just at least a hot dog piece, something like that.
Anyways, Derek definitely gets the most points.
Good for you, Derek. Though, the only thing I'm gonna say about you, Derek, get a logo.
Yeah, get a logo.
Get a logo.
Something to represent you. Something to represent your team.
No, I like Derek. Derek's hungry for advice. I've talked to Derek, and I think he's a fan of the show. I've definitely talked to him off camera. and giving him a couple tidbits here and there about who I think he should start and whatnot. He's a guy that wants to win, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to play against players like that. Jay Ajayi out for the year now, though.
He is?
Yeah, out for the year. But, he's making up for it. Joe Mixon comes back last week, Mike. We talked about it a little bit. But, Giovanni Bernard.
He got all those points, and he had Isaiah Crowell on the bench. And he went off.
Crowell went off like crazy. I think he ran like 2 90-yard touchdowns. It was insane.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. But
that's too result-oriented. I'll take it back.
Yeah, he gets Mixon back. And now usually when a back comes back from an injury, they're going to just kind of ease him in, maybe give him 10, 12 touches, whatever, right? Well, when Mixon comes back, Giovanni Bernard, his backup, who was replacing him the 3 previous weeks, he goes down. He's injured. Okay. So then Mixon all of a sudden is getting 23 carries.
Yeah.
Getting a full load. He even gets an underperformance from Julio Jones. You got to love that when you get a win because Julio's going to put money in the bank for you on a week in and week out basis generally. And here's a guy, too, I don't mind this. Like, he's starting Andy Dalton because he doesn't even have any, superstar quarterback. He's not wasting any equity on quarterbacks. He knows he can go out on waivers on a week in and week out basis, pick up somebody. Who knows, whatever.
He's got Wentz on the bench. It's not like he's got a total scrub.
Oh, he does. He's got Wentz on the bench. Well, then, there you go. He's playing matchups there. And, from what I saw yesterday on Thursday Night Football, it looks like Carson Wentz is probably back a little bit. Him and Alshon Jeffrey got a little love connection going on.
They do. I think, whatever. Wentz is the real deal, whether we like it or not. Everybody wanted Foles to come out. But no, he's just better.
Foles the backup for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael, let you take the lead on this one. We've got your Sweden House team versus the formerly undefeated 4th and 20.
Well, yeah, so I go into this matchup, and I'm thinking, hey, I'm going against the best guy, but the best team right now, at least performance-wise. And, he's just as I'll talk exactly how I thought. It was only 51 to 49% when it comes to projections.
Yeah.
So, I felt pretty good about my team. I just had to perform well. And, I did. I just did. Well, you can go ahead from here, Dave, but
Mike,
I performed like a G.
Well, I'm always going to look at your running backs. That's where definitely.
That's my strength. I got running backs.
That's where your bread's buttered. We've got Saquon Barkley, we've got Melvin Gordon, both going up for 20-plus points.
No, don't forget my 3rd running back.
And then we got Sony Michel. That's right.
No, 4th. I got 4 running backs.
You only played 2.
I know, but I got 4. On the bench, I got 20 points with Mark Ingram.
That's true. That's another point. And that was something that we were questionable whether you should be playing somebody like that. Really, you watch that Saints game on Monday Night Football, and it looks like Ingram is really going to cut into Kamara, which in this matchup works out great for you because Jack starts Kamara. Kamara gets his touches cut in half.
At least.
And, the great thing about
him... definitely, Mark Ingram's definitely more of a strength back.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For the touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Red zone touches are going to be going to
Mark Ingram.
Not Alvin Kamara. Now, Kamara will get him out of the backfield as a receiver.
Yeah.
If we're looking at 3rd and goal from the 6. But we're 3rd and goal from the 1. It seems like they're pretty committed to going, hike, here you go.
Here you go, Mark.
Go score.
Apparently, he's been working out, and everybody knows it.
He didn't look like he had missed a stop.
Yeah.
So, good on you there. Tom Brady, finally.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
Tom finally puts up a big 30 burger for you. You got to like that.
This is pretty much over.
Can you give me a catchphrase for your tight end?
So anyways, this is actually the one move I made. I only had one tight end on my lineup, which is Trey Burton from Chicago. We get a bye. I got to do something. So I go out to the waiver wire. I get myself a tight end.
Yeah.
Whoever the best one was, right?
Yep.
And I got to tell you right now, he overperformed pretty well for me. He got 12.2 instead of 6.57, and I have to say it's Uber's birthday.
That's actually all I was looking for.
Yeah,
I didn't need any analysis.
I had to set it up like I was being quiet, and I went,
it's Uber's birthday.
Yeah,
apparently it was Uber's birthday because he was the only Atlanta Falcon to perform on Sunday.
Yeah, he had like 12 catches from him.
Jack's team just underperforms at
all
levels.
Except for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the only one who scores more points.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
Kareem Hunt scores a little bit more, but
he leaves nothing on the table. But again, I'm going to go. Obviously, Jack's not a fan of the team because if he was, or of the show, because if he was, he'd be moving this bench around. Only thing I see on that bench that I like is Josh Gordon. Obviously, he's got the 2 quarterbacks, so he's playing matchups, so I'm not even counting that. But we just have a bunch of hot garbage on the bench.
I was just glad to beat him because he obviously went for the Green Bay connection against Detroit, which I don't mind, but, I can't lie. I'm a homer.
I mean, just having guys like Theo Riddick and on your bench, Chris Hogan, these just
waste.
Peyton Barber, it's a waste of space.
Hogan.
And again,
Riddick.
I don't know if
Where?
I don't think it's
worthless.
I don't think it's changed yet. We're still at 0 transactions, right? So, great draft.
Good luck, Jack.
Still
I think things are going to go bad for you unless you start paying attention to the
Great
show.
draft. Still have a good team, but we could definitely see a slide when we go through these bye weeks. When some of these
He's
players
going to end up making the playoffs, but he might make the playoffs sneaking in.
I don't know. I mean, 4-1's pretty good. I'm not going to go that far, but I think we can definitely see the invincibility is definitely gone with 4th and 20.
He's got to play you next week.
And again, do we have a logo for Jack? Yeah.
Jack, come on, Jack.
I
don't even know you, but come on, Jack.
Somebody get it, Jack. Tell me he needs a logo.
Yeah, number love, but get a logo. Come on.
Like, let's move on. We're gonna look at week 6 here.
All right, going to week 6,
folks. We've made a proclamation, and I as the permanent host of this show, have let you down.
Yes. All right. I'm glad because I'll even say it. As a fan of the show, I want the show put up by Wednesday. Now, I'm gonna say something to you, Anthony. No problem. I will be here if I have to. I think the show should be you and Dave's show. But we need it to happen before Thursday Night Football.
So Mike's putting us on blast.
I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on blast and say...
and I agree.
I'm a fan of the show. I watch the show, David.
I agree. And frankly, I mean, my knowledge of what happened the previous week is much fresher on Wednesday than it is on Friday night.
True.
Because I'm already
moving to the next week.
I've already moved on.
Yeah.
So yes, the show's got to be done on Wednesday. It will be done on Wednesday from here on out. It is a promise from your host. Moving on, we're going to start with the least interesting matchup of the week.
Long Dong Silver versus the Lone Rangers. We have a projected close matchup here.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Who do you get? You got somebody who, all right.
He played Philadelphia's defense last night.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is part of the problem, too, is that we already have scores up in,
right.
And we can't
look at my matchup. Now we don't have no prediction because
we'll get into that. We'll have clean predictions. Looking at Steven's team, I'm going to say it again, but it's going to be, you got to like the fact, though, that Hopkins and Watson are playing against who?
The Buffalo Bills.
So I think that's a big plus.
I think you're going to score more than that.
Yeah, I think those
players... They got
players...
projected at like 38 points. I think they're going to score more like 54.
Those players are going to overperform. It's just a lot of... I mean, yes, Julian Edelman coming back, right? Edelman's going to play. I like that. And we got to do something about this defense. Get out there and pick somebody up. I mean,
do something, bro. What are you still playing San Francisco for?
I mean, you're playing San Francisco's defense against Green Bay, or at Green Bay right now. They're only projected to score 3 points. Now, I know we said that defenses aren't a huge deal. You're only trying to get 6 or 7. But
when you're dealing with a 104.42 matchup versus a 105.58, you got to do everything you can.
Well, Steven could put himself projected ahead with
just a defense.
Click. Just a little click. Not even a click. And
I know you're not a big fan of the projection. You think you're smarter than the projections.
But all he would have to do is his phone, hit players, go to defense, hit the top defense, drop San Francisco.
Go ahead and get rid of D. Parker.
San Francisco.
Yeah. For a new defense. Or, just go ahead and get rid of San Francisco defense.
Yeah, get rid of San Francisco defense. They're terrible. They're bad. There's no other way to look at it. And then over to Tim's team. And we're playing Mitchell Trubisky now. I know Trubisky had one good week, but I don't think he's
That's exactly his thoughts, though. He's like, Trubisky, he scored all these points. I'm on the bench.
Oh, did we actually finally narrow it down to one kicker? No, still have 2 kickers.
And he's got Matt Prater and Bailey. I know what's Bailey's first name? Yeah, Dan Bailey. I know him, though.
Yeah, Dan Bailey. We still have 2. I can't help him. He doesn't watch the show.
Hey, Steve, Timmy.
T-Bone, you gotta tune in, man.
You gotta tune in.
You gotta let me help you, man. Let me help you.
Let Dave help you.
Gosh, I mean,
let me reassure that you're really getting help.
So with these two teams, I frankly look down and I say, okay, what studs are going to perform and what aren't? Because still, Tim has some studs. He has Mike Evans. He has Ezekiel Elliott. These are players that he's going to need to get 25 points out of for him to win this matchup. And I look at the other side, and Hopkins and Watson are playing some Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take Steve's team here.
Yeah, I'll take Steve's team for sure.
Plus,
he got an unknown with Julian Edelman, but, Tom Brady likes to goad him. And we got Eric Ebron, who's been performing really well this year.
True
That's
enough. True enough. Next matchup, kind of an interesting one here. We got a couple teams right in that playoff bubble there. 6th and 7th. Auto draft Derek's team versus the Breeze Knees. 2 teams without logos.
Yeah, we need you guys to get some logos. We're done with it.
No, and
time.
One thing I forgot about last week's matchup, though, with Jamie's team, though, is that, really, Alex had me watching Drew Brees just throw the ball all over the field and start to get pretty nervous. Drew Brees was bringing her back.
And who's that dog?
Alex was lucky that Washington was so bad, and that finally the Saints were like, all right, we'll just hand it off.
Yeah.
Now he's the all-time passing leader, and he did that in about, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Some dude crying in the stands over a passing record.
I can't believe it.
I don't know. Like you would have thought, his son was Drew Brees.
Right. I like Chauncey Billups a lot, but I wasn't tearing over the win in 2004.
You know what?
At least not for Chauncey. Maybe for the team. A little bit.
If your favorite team wins the Super Bowl or an NBA championships or the Stanley Cup or the World Series, and you're invested and you've watched every game, I could see you shed a tear. I've shed a tear over.
Yeah, for a championship.
Yeah, but over a passing record for an individual, that's just kind of cool. You go, all right,
it's just an ancillary thing.
It's just cool, man.
Yeah,
it's just cool. Anyways, Thursday night. So we know that Odell Beckham did not throw a touchdown pass this week. He threw one last week. He was unable to do so this week because I'm thinking that the only player on the New York Giants that's going to be throwing touchdown passes might be Odell because it doesn't look like Eli's got it.
Yeah, Eli really does look like he's your old man. I know your name's Manning. I know you've won 2 Super Bowls. Probably time to put the cleats up.
You know what somebody out there should look up for us? What's Eli's handicap in golf? I bet you it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I bet you he is playing some golf.
I bet you should get out there and just get better at golf. Maybe gear up for the senior tour in about 12 years.
Yeah. If you're still competitive like that, you don't want to just enjoy your money, go ahead and get good enough. Yeah.
Well, let's do something like that, Eli, because, it really looks bad.
You can still throw the rock. Don't get me wrong. It's just
I think you're wrong. I don't think you can throw the rock anymore.
Just can't throw the rock.
Every pass is late.
All right, let's go. We got to move it.
Moving on. We've got... let's see here. Okay, because the Saints are on a bye this week, so she's got Kirk Cousins in the lineup. Here we go. I like this. Jamie's got James White starting. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you called that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Sitting down Kenyon Drake, despite Baby Force. Now, here's another thing. This is funny. She's got a decision to make because Tevin Coleman actually now, again, Devontae Freeman's hurt again, is back to being the number 1 dude. And she has him on the bench. I think that might be a mistake there. I think we should be looking to play.
Who you want to play?
I would rather play Coleman over Alex Collins. The projections obviously say so.
And the projections say so.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I would think that she's a player, but she's a projection player.
Well, even if she's a projection player, that's what she's playing. So she needs to get that cleaned up. I think she'll get it cleaned up by Sunday. Let's hope so. Right. Going over to the other side, we haven't touched on T.J. Yeldon yet that much. He's been putting up big numbers for Derek with Fournette out. I think Julio's probably in line for a big game against Tampa Bay. Everybody's saying, I would imagine.
The secondary against Tampa Bay is horrible. That's where I got my Hoopers.
Yeah.
That's where I got my Hooper points.
Oh, that was Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Totally. But Tampa Bay hasn't stopped anybody this year. They've won some games.
I'm going against Tampa this week.
Yeah, you're going against Tampa this week. And I'd play Falcons this week. Good. Falcons were 1-4.
All right, so you switched it on that one. That's good.
Falcons are 1-4. They have to win a game. This is a team that is projected preseason Super Bowl contender. We've got to get the Falcons moving, and I think they'll get it moving this week against Tampa Bay. I see big numbers out of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and maybe even Hooper's birthday. We're starting Joe Mixon. He's got to love having him back. And he made a trade. Remember, he got Robert Woods.
That's right.
Robert Woods not in the lineup. And
it's only Friday.
No, he's not going to play him, and he probably shouldn't. He's got some decent depth at wide receiver. I mean, that trade, frankly, the trade between Derek and Steven I thought was awful. I thought Steven should never make that trade because he traded, he received 2 garbage running backs for a good receiver in Robert Woods. So Derek kind of trade rapes,
Yeah, I got you.
He gets them, and I didn't vote against it because I don't like to vote against trades because people can do what they want to do. That's your
I act like it was on accident. If you're watching this episode, now you'll know. It was not on accident.
Derek has now, Derek has 3 kickers on his team.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Oh, Derek. All right, let's beat up on Zach for a second here.
Derek, I know you're a fan of the show. You need 1 kicker on your team, not 3. And you can say, well, hey, everybody out there in Waverland's garbage. Well, not really. Find a rookie that isn't getting much love that maybe you could speculate on and hold on to for a week or 2, and maybe blows up. There's Calvin Ridley's out there. Trust me. There's the guys that played wide receiver for Green Bay last week that scored a bunch of points. Some kid named something Saint something that I never heard of before put up 12 fantasy points. Go speculate on some of these guys. Find out what's out there.
Oh, you can always get a kicker who's going to score decent for you. There's no reason to have.
Kickers are pretty much primarily blind luck.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a projected victory here for Jamie's team. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, where do we get the bad? No, I'm going to say Jamie's team wins. I'm going to go with Jamie. I'm going to go with Yahoo here. Say Jamie's team wins, even though I don't want to because I don't like. I hope she fixes this Alex Collins, Tevin Coleman conundrum.
If she does,
she got
a chance.
She got him for sure.
I think we're going to get a close game here, either way.
Yeah, we are.
I think if I were to really guess, I still say Jamie. I can't. I wanted to go with you, Derek, but
I want to go with Derek too because I think it's fun. But the 3 kickers thing kind of threw me off.
I was like, whoa! When I just saw that, I was like, Derek, get your act together. Let's go.
Yeah, get a logo.
And get a logo.
Let's go next matchup. We got a team here up against the ropes, and Big Baba Ganoush sitting at 1-4, I believe. Needs to get a win bad. Going against one of the best teams in the league. Maybe the best team on paper. Definitely has the depth in Alex's Lick My Tate squad.
Yeah. On paper, it's either me or him right now.
So you say.
You gotta love that.
But we're starting the studs. We've got those Rams. Rams actually get a difficult matchup this week. I know I always say it, but at Denver, Mile High Stadium, 4:00 game. There could be some problems down there. So he could run into a little bit of trouble down there. I think they're going to rely heavily on the run. I think Gurley's probably going to have a big game, and I think Goff's going to be a little bit below projection. So I think it's kind of a wash there.
So much so that you would play Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers has... Yes, I would play Phillip Rivers or Jared Goff.
Let's go with Gurley anyways?
Yes, always go with Gurley.
All right.
So we said that. Zach Ertz already has played. Does Zach Ertz shit. Puts up 13.8.
Oh, good
for
job.
the Eagles. Yeah. Scored a touchdown last night. Devontae Adams.
It's a fun game. I know it was a blowout. It was still a fun game, at least for me. We'll get into that in a second.
He just, Alex really doesn't have much to worry about. He's got a squad he can start, and then when he has bye weeks, he just, it's kind of like, Alex does the same thing I do. When you text me on Tuesday and said T.Y. Hilton's out, I just go, okay, I'll play Cooper Kupp instead.
Yeah, he didn't even text me back, and I see, did he change it?
Yeah, because I just have the depth on my bench.
Yeah.
So that's fun. It's a lot more fun than going, oh my gosh, the only guy I had to play is gone. Go over to the Ganoush, because Ganoush's got to have a win.
I'm rooting for Ganoush on this one. Nothing against you, Alex. Just, I think he's a decent player. I think he's solid, and I think that he pays a little bit of attention. And things have not been going his way.
We get Cooks back. Cooks is cleared concussion protocol, so that's good. Where can we get
some money?
Where can we get some money here? I think he's got the best lineup out there you can get.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's going to have to get a big number out of Russell Wilson at Oakland.
Even a rushing touchdown out of nowhere.
Yeah, a rushing touchdown would be huge. But Seattle's kind of been relying on the run a little bit more this year, playing a little bit more prototypical, not letting Russell just go out and do his thing, which might be better for Russell in the long run. Trust me, don't need to get that guy hurt. He really hasn't got a ton of production on David Johnson because the Cardinals are terrible.
They really are terrible. I've only watched one of their games this year, to be honest, but thought I was watching a junior varsity game.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of... He's just running a lot of bad luck. I mean, there's some guys that, I'm sure earlier in the season that he could have picked up and dropped some of these bums that he's holding on to, like Drake Cohen and Kenny Stills. But I guarantee you right now, if you go out on waivers, there's nobody projected above them, so he's holding on to them because, well, I still have these guys. And so, that's kind of...
All right, so what... So what's at the end of the day, what's your advice for Matt, Big Bob Canute? Let's get it moving forward.
Draft better.
Sorry, Matt.
No, and that's not fair either. But no, I think you have to make moves earlier in the season too. When because a lot of players get, this is what happens. A lot of players get locked into the lineup they drafted because those are my guys. I own those guys.
I've gotten lucky. I've been able to go. I've had that.
I drafted that guy in the 7th round. I can't get rid of him now. Yeah. Yes, you can.
Well, when you're saying a guy like Fournette goes out, you pick up the.
Well, yeah. I mean, you pay attention to those things. You pick up T.J. Yeldon, or you go out and I would rather see somebody like Christian Kirk on Canute's bench, rookie receiver out of Arizona. I've talked about him twice now. Than Kenny Stills. Because Kenny Stills is just a veteran. Kenny Stills is going to put up maybe 2 big games all year. And that's why he gets a projection of 8 points every week. Because he's going to score 25 or 30, maybe twice,
and then score like 6.
Yeah.
Or 5.
Or 5, or 0 sometimes, because Miami's not that good either.
Right.
Mike, what do you got in this matchup?
I mean, lick my tape, man.
Yeah, you got to go there.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to, but I just can't. All right. Let's
go with your matchup first. We'll finish with mine. Mine will be easy.
All right. Well, we got the Clash of the Titans here. Top of the league, number 1 versus number 2.
Number 1 versus number 2.
Shock and awe versus 4th and 20.
With low projections, which is weird.
I think some bye week trouble, injury trouble, like I talked about. T.Y. Hilton out this week. I ended up finally starting Doug Baldwin, somebody I took in the 3rd or 4th round this year. Struggled with injury trouble beginning of the year.
Big name,
but this is somebody he's a performer, and I think his season's on the rise. Get to start A.J. Green, Jordan Howard, Phillip Lindsay. I mean, one thing I did want to say to you guys about my lineup is that my starting lineup from week 1 to this week
has never been the same.
This week I am only starting two players that I drafted. I'm only starting 2 players that I drafted. So you got to be out there. You got to be moving around. You got to have flexibility in your lineup, and that's what I've built for myself. I picked up Houston's defense because why?
Because they're playing Buffalo. I tried to do it. You beat me to it.
Mm-hmm. I beat Alex to it too, and Anthony. But hey, things happen. I like Matt Ryan versus Tampa Bay. We just talked about that a little bit. I think he's going to go for over projection points here.
I like him versus Tampa Bay here.
Well,
AC Green. Let's hope when he catches the ball, it's in the end zone. If you're David,
it's AJ Green.
What do I call him?
AC Green.
Oh, that's the guy who played for the Lakers back in the day.
Interesting fun fact. Who holds the record for most consecutive games played in the NBA?
I believe it would be AC Green.
AC Green, if anybody was wondering. I think these teams have been talked about ad nauseum on weekly, on a week in and week out basis. Go over to Jack's team real quick. We're starting Mahomes at New England. That is the matchup of the week in the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs, undefeated, going into Foxborough on Sunday Night Football. Ooh. I think this works out to my advantage.
It does, because I think that your boy Mahomes is going to choke.
I wouldn't call it choke.
But he's not going to overperform.
They have Mahomes at 25 fantasy points.
It's a lot of points to be.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see
24.56. But
I would take New England in that game. And I think that it's going to come down to, New England's going to control the clock. They're going to be ready. I mean, these are the new hot shots in town. We've been talking about the New England struggles early in the season. It seems like they kind of corrected it a little bit. They're getting guys back. They're getting healthy. They know what they want to do. Tom Brady has a big week last week. Look for another big week out of Tom Brady. And
I think that it was crazy that they just rode off. They lose to the Lions and they just rode off the Patriots.
Well, because they lost to the Lions in such poor fashion.
NFL's so close.
Jimmy Graham, I worry about Jimmy Graham going off a little bit against San Francisco.
Yeah, there's another great tight end.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything this year.
Okay.
No, so it's another reason why it's shallow.
But I think Josh Gordon could do big things. I think 7.85 is way under what I think he's going to get.
5. Josh Gordon's played 3 games this season.
I just still think that way. It doesn't mean
5
I'm right.
catches for less than 100 yards and 1 touchdown all season.
Okay.
That's Josh Gordon's stat line on the season. This guy, if he was so good, he'd still be in Cleveland. There's something going on there, I'm telling you. Josh Gordon not going to pan out.
He likes to smoke the dope. This is problem.
That's why he's questionable.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. I don't really like Jack's wide receiving crew with Corey Davis.
I'm really surprised to see how low you guys' projections are as being number 1 and 2 in the league. I know you went into this, but I'm still surprised.
Oh, I mean, I can tell you right now, I have Michael Thomas, the number 1 receiver in the NFL.
I got to think of what
on the bye.
Damn it, I can't help. I think I'm still going to go with you, Dave. And it's not just like a homer type of thing. I just think that you're going to win here.
I'm definitely going with me. Down goes Jack. Down to 4-2. Shocking all back up to 6-0. Stays
ran into the Robinson boys. That was tough.
That's a tough chainsaw you got to run through.
You're down
2 straight weeks.
Tough chainsaw.
You know what? I don't know if I want to. I think we got to do a slight recap on last night's game for this matchup because we've got Sweden House versus Ridiculous in the Thunderdome.
Yeah. All right. So obviously, I got 2 of my best players playing here. I got Saquon Barkley, who's been solid all year, like 22 to 26 point scorer.
Calling him Barry Sanders like.
And he looked it, dude. All right, so I had never watched the Giants game yet. I just heard about this kid.
Yeah.
And I watched the game last night.
Yeah. And
I saw some amazing stuff out of this young man. We might be talking about, I'm talking a generational type player, if he can stay healthy.
He's definitely got special moves.
He's got a gear that just other running backs just do not have.
You know, like how you used to play John Madden football on the Genesis?
Yeah.
Like I think the B button was the spin button. He's got that button.
Yes. He's got the spin button.
He's got the spin button.
And just he had juke you.
Yeah.
Look up Saquon Barkley highlights, and I guarantee you're going to be
impressed. You're going to see the spin move for sure.
The spin move.
You get Alshon Jeffrey go off for a big number. Last night watching the football game for you must have just been like Christmas morning.
It was. I got Alshon Jeffrey. Which I thought he was going to do well. But did I think he was going to do 23.4 points well? No.
It seems like Carson Wentz has got himself a toy that he likes to play with. And Alshon's looking healthy, which is one thing that I was concerned about. I think Tom Brady's going to put up a big number for you. You are going to go with Hooper's birthday at the tight end.
Yeah, you told me not to, but I'm still going to go.
You have plus matchups with both of your tight ends. I don't think you can go wrong there.
They're both.
I don't know. I think Trey Burton is actually a special type of tight end.
He has not done it for me this year, so I'm going against them. I'm not saying.
I hear you. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying it's definitely a decision you have to make. I think I would go.
It's the one decision that could bite me. Because everything else is pretty much boilerplate.
But here we are on Friday evening. You're already projected at 77% to win, going 150 to 117 with the 2 big performances you already had. We look over at Anthony's team. We like those running backs. We like Christian McCaffrey. We like John Connor. Calvin Ridley is somebody that you got to worry about. Calvin Ridley could put up big numbers against Tampa Bay. He's had 2 huge weeks this year.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns over the previous 3 games.
2 huge weeks this year. He's a boomer bust type of player, and if he booms this week, he could make this matchup pretty close for you.
But no.
And Anthony goes out there, he gets out in Waverland. He's had trouble at tight end all year. He picks up Uzma from Cincinnati at tight end, who, had a couple catches last week. With Eifert going down, you're trying to figure out who Cincinnati's number 1 tight end is going to be. And it looks like it's going to be Uzma. He's going to have to get... Anthony's obviously going to have to catch magic in a bottle to get a victory here.
I'm projected to hit 150 points. If you lose with 150 points, I don't know.
Well, you were going to lose no matter what.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have to go with the Sweet House Buffet. Eating.
Yeah.
On this one.
I mean, I don't.
None below Anthony, but
I don't know.
I needed to win.
I don't know how you know. Anthony goes to 3-3. Mike, you would pop up to 4-2 there, and really start emerging yourself as one of the top teams in the league.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. What do I cheer for more? You think me going into a tie for second with Jack, or do I want you to actually have a loss? If you're me. I'll play you again this year.
I think. Oh, I mean, you just get. I'm
not talking personally. I'm talking about what do I actually want.
You would actually want. No, you would want Jack to lose more than me because your points are good against me, but not good against Jack.
That's true. Okay.
And that's going to wrap it up for weekly. We're both going to go with Sweden House. Mike, you want to thank some sponsors real quick? I think actually in honor of the logo change.
Yeah.
We got to thank an old sponsor of the show, Sweden House Buffet, where the extras don't cost extra.
We've been cooking all day. The least you could do is eat.
There you go. Clubhouse PST, as always, our employer.
We love Clubhouse, man. Yeah. Thank you, Scott LePage. You're really good. You're a good boss. I don't care what anybody says, and they don't say much besides good things.
Any random person out there watching this, if you've ever been to 2265 Crooks, the property is amazing.
Property's amazing. Come on down. You got me and Dave, Matt, all the other guys. It's a family affair, and we're doing as best we can for you. Floyd,
you want to take us out? That's all we got on weekly this week.
He'd go like one. I'll give you one last. Indian Joe.